Hello, happy Friday. Welcome to another Friday Facebook Live. I'm actually just going to fix my screen so that I can see your comments. Let's see here. Be sure to say hi when you pop in so that I know that you're here. If you're watching the replay, then just mention that. It's always nice to see who is watching. Okay, why can I not see my video on here? That's odd. Okay, this is weird. I just got a new iPad. Before now, I was using, hey Kathy, hey Shara. Before now, I was using my computer and it was really easy. I figured an iPad would be easier and now I do not see my video. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, iPad users, why can't I see my video on here? Let me try going out and going back in. Still nothing. Huh. That's weird. Good morning, Christine. Good morning, Sue. There are lots of people joining us. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me swipe that. Okay, we are good. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so my name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Sherwood Park, Alberta, Canada. And I am excited to be here with you on a Friday to share some crafting. And I've got a really cute project to share with you today. But we've got some things to cover before I go ahead and get started. So first of all, one of the things that I do at the beginning of all of my Facebook Lives is I draw for a winner for the previous week's projects. So last week we created these two adorable projects, a little shaker card and a little treat. I gotta swipe these comments here. Good morning, Anna. And a little treat pouch that we created using the Hey Love stamp set from the 2019 Occasions catalog. And the way that you can get your name entered into those, sorry, I can't see your there we go. Okay, the way that you can get your name entered in to win this week's project is by commenting on the post, whether you're watching live or the replay or even the YouTube version, because I always upload it to YouTube afterwards. And you get 5 entries if you share this video as well, okay? So I've got everybody's name in here from last week. Anyone who shared, anyone who commented, and each comment gets you an entry. So let's see who wins. Oh, Kathy Lovell, look at that. So I will pop those in the mail for you, sweet friend. Okay, all right, next up, speaking about the Hey Love, good morning, Shirley. Speaking about the Hey Love stamp set, I wanted to remind you guys about the Hey Love class in the mail. There's still time to participate in that. So these are 4 of the 5 cards, and then there's a sweet little treat pouch. So this is a class in the mail, and we have 3 different options. Option 1 includes the stamp set, the Flirty Flamingo Blends combo, All My Love ribbon, which is 2 spools of ribbon in Lovely Lipstick and Flirty Flamingo, the heart epoxy shapes, a package of note cards and envelopes, and a celebration item of your choice, plus everything that needs to be pre-cut that you need to assemble these. So all that you need to have on hand is a Memento black ink and a Lovely Lipstick ink, and then clear blocks and adhesive. That's all you would need to have on hand at home. And substitutes can be made of equal or lesser value. So if you already have the Hey Love stamp set and you want to pick a different stamp set, that's fine as well. Good morning, Mary Liz. Oh, did Andrew talk you into this card class? Well, that's good. That's awesome. So the cost for that is basically just the cost of the supplies. So it works out to $78.25 plus shipping if you need it shipped. Because I'm in Canada, I can only send it to Canadians. But there is an option for anybody who's outside of Canada. If you want the tutorial, you can purchase the tutorial for just $20. And then I have an option 3, which is for my treasure stampers. So anybody who's on my team, if you want to participate, you can get the pieces and the tutorial to create this, and then you would provide your own stamps and ink. And that option is $15. So I'll post a link after the video is uploaded. I will post a link at the top of the screen, or if you're watching it on YouTube and you're watching the replay, I'll put it in the description with a link to all the information on that. Okay? And that is available until the 23rd. So I believe that's next Wednesday. Okay, so let's set this aside. Okay, I think I'm ready to flip you guys down so that you can see what we're doing. I'm gonna share the products that we're using first, and then I'll show you the project that we're gonna make. So just bear with me for just a second. Lined up that is. Let's go a little bit more like this. Okay, that should be good. All right, so we are using actually quite a few products today. Let's go through the products from the Occasions catalog first and Celebration catalog. So we are using the Be Mine stitched framelits. We're going to be using this border and this heart here from those stitched framelits. You see me use those lots lately. I love them. And my favorite, I know you guys are probably getting tired of these silly frogs, but oh, they're so cute. So we're using the So Hoppy Together stamp set, and then we are using the Well Said stamp set as well. I'm just using the Happy and the Birthday. So if you don't have this stamp set, you could always use a Happy Birthday from a different set. I just needed something that was small enough to fit within a heart. Okay, so that's what we're using for new stuff. And then, let's get this out of the way. And then I'm pulling in some things from the annual catalog. So you'll see that I'm using one of the letters from the lined alphabet. And we're using the balloon celebration set because I really wanted a balloon because we're making another birthday card. And we're using the balloon bouquet punch that coordinates with this stamp set. Okay, so we'll set those aside. And now you ready to see what we're making? Okay, so this is the front of the card. And then, like I said in the little description, it's got a little surprise on the inside. So you open it up and it says happy birthday to you. And it's got like a little accordion fold there. Isn't that cute? So cute. And then I have to show you another version because you know I am loving this Hey Love stamp set. So here's a Valentine's version. So we've got Hey Valentine. I just freehand drew the speech bubble around it. And then you open it up and it says I love you. Isn't that cute? You'll be amazed at how simple this is to create. All right, thanks for all the love, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead with the front of the card first. So I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock that measures 3 inches across by 5.5 inches down. And we are going to stamp our frog on there using Memento ink because I'm coloring with Stampin' Blends. And I'm going to stamp him in the lower right corner. And then I'm going to use the balloon string, and I'm only going to ink up a portion of it. So you guys can see that I'm not going all the way down. I actually went down a little further than I would have liked, but that's okay. And I'm going to stamp it right over top of his hand so it looks like he's holding the balloon. And a little trick when you stamp using really, really fine, whether it's words or lines or anything that is really fine. You want to have a very gentle touch. You want to go straight down, straight up, and you don't want to apply too much pressure. You almost want to just sit the stamp on top of the cardstock, because if you apply pressure or too much pressure, then you'll get a blurred image. Okay, so we've got our string, and then we are going to pull in some Pool Party ink. Let's cover this black and get this guy out of the way. And there are these fabulous clouds in the balloon set, which the name escaped me already, but that's okay. I told you at the beginning of the video. Okay, so I am going to pull in my Stampin' Pierce mat because this is a solid image, and because it's photopolymer, it doesn't have that foam underneath, so it really helps to have a foam mat underneath. And I've got a scrap piece of paper because I will be stamping off of the cardstock. And I'm going to ink up my balloon. I'm going to stamp it twice. And do it once over here. Let's make sure my cardstock is straight here. So once there. And see how you get a nice, even impression? I tell you, the Stampin' Pierce mat makes a world of difference. And then we're going to do another one on this side. Okay, so then we can get that one out of the way. And then let's go ahead and do our balloon. We'll just do all of our stamping at the same time. I don't need this scrap anymore. Okay, so I've got a scrap piece of white. And now another trick, because I made this mistake this morning when I was creating this card, is you want to have a look, flip your punch over upside down and figure out how you're gonna slide it in, so how you need to stamp. So this morning, you can see I'm using the small balloon, and what I did was I stamped my balloon going the right way and not upside down. So, and I was doing it on a tiny little piece. So then I had to flip it around and I had nothing to hold on to. So when you're doing, when you're stamping and then punching with a coordinating punch, flip the punch over and have a look at how it's stamped. Sometimes, because this one is done the right way around, this one is done upside down. So just a little trick to make it easier for you to line up. So now I've got the smaller balloon from that Celebrate something or other, Balloon Celebrations, I think that's what it's called. And I've got Granny Apple Green ink. I'm gonna turn my balloon upside down so I don't forget. And I'm gonna stamp it on this side of the cardstock because the punch is on the left side. Okay, so I've got that. And then there are these really cute little dots that kind of add a little bit of detail and almost a little bit of shadowing. I gotta flip this around this way. Okay. I am sorry if my head is right in the way. Okay, so see how that just adds a little bit of depth to the balloon? Okay, so we're done with our gumball, or not gumball. Oh, that's bringing back memories. Hey, Granny Apple. Gumball green, we carried that green a number of years ago. So now I'm just gonna slide my punch in and line it up and punch. So see, by doing it on the left or the right hand side of my DSP, when it's on the left hand side, I'm not wasting a whole bunch of cardstock. If I had done it on the left hand side, I would have punched, this balloon would have punched into here. I mean, it's not that much of a waste, but that's another thing to keep in mind as well. Okay, so we've got our balloon, and what else? What other stamping do I need to do? Okay, we'll come back to do some more stamping in a bit here. Okay, so now I am going to color my frog. So I've got 3 different colors. I've got Old Olive, the combo, so light and dark, Granny Apple Green, light and dark, and Crumb Cake, light and dark. The crumb cake I'm just gonna use, I'm using the dark and just putting some ground on there so it doesn't look like the frog is floating. And then I'm gonna go back in and fill in some of the gaps and just soften that dark with the light. And you could do light to dark, dark to light, doesn't matter. I'm just going over it. Okay, so we've got our ground. And then I'm going to take the light granny apple. I'm gonna color his belly. That lighting is it's kind of glaring, isn't it? I don't know if that's gonna be any different. It's almost worse. Well, hopefully you guys can see okay. Maybe I'll move down a little bit, maybe that'll help. Okay, so I'm gonna color his belly in the light granny apple. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of shadowing just around where his hand is. I'll go back and blend with the light. Who else is loving the Stampin' Blends? I still cannot get enough of these fabulous markers. Okay, so we're done with the granny apple. And then I'm gonna take my light old olive and color in the entire frog. And then I'll go back over it and add a few little highlights with the dark. And you can see in these little tight spots, I just use a very, very light touch just with the very tip of the marker. I still find that the brush tip for me works. I can get more precise with the brush tip than I can with the fine tip. I rarely use the fine tip. Yes, I like that too, Mary Liz. She said that she loves how forgiving they are. It doesn't matter whether you do light to dark or dark to light. And a Mr. Frog, that's cute. Okay, so now I'm gonna add just a little bit of the dark, kind of like in the crick of his elbow, just underneath his arm, just underneath where his mouth is. And I mean, it looks ridiculous at first, but once you blend it and it has the opportunity to soak in, it won't look so funny. Okay, so now I'm gonna take the light again and go over it. So are you guys light to dark or dark to light? Which do you prefer? Mary Liz, I believe you are dark to light, aren't you? Okay, and you'll find that that will blend even a little bit more once you let it sit for a couple minutes. Okay, so now we are gonna bring in at the big shot and we're gonna do a little bit of cutting. So I've got a scrap strip of basic black cardstock, and I'm going to cut this scallop border. So let's pull in the big shot. Ugh. And I'm actually gonna cut this twice because I want one for each side. So I'm gonna line it up with the scallop on the outside. Do I want the scallop? No, I want the scallop on the inside. Okay, and leave a little bit of a gap there just so that I have a little bit of room so that I can add adhesive to the back of my white cardstock. and it has something to stick to. Okay. Peel that out, and then I'm gonna flip it around and do the same thing. My scallop on the inside and run it through again. Okay, let's put this away. Okay, and then we're gonna snip these off. So I'm just gonna snip where the scallop ended. And this cuts, it's about a 6-inch strip, so it's a little bit longer than our card base. I need that. Okay, so now I'm gonna bring back my focal point. I'm gonna add strips of adhesive down, or a little bit of adhesive down the side. Flip it over, and then add this. I love this little border strip because it's got the stitching, and you know how I love stitching. And then the little detailed scallops, the little detail of the scallops on there too. Okay, and then I'll do the same on this side. Oh, it's gonna go on the right way. Okay. You know, the other day when I filmed a video, my doorbell rang. It's ringing again. Okay, so now we've got our strip down the side. So we are going to bring in our card base, and this is just a standard size card base. So it measures 5.5 by 8 1/4, scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to fold along the score line, make it nice and crisp, and then we're gonna stick this guy on. So I'm centering it from side to side and putting it down there, and it's just a touch long, but I'll trim that up afterwards. Actually, no, I won't. I will do it now because once I get the inside in, it'll be too bulky. So I'm just gonna pull in this paper cutter. Trim that off. Okay. Okay, and then we're gonna add our balloon. So I'm going to use a dimensional for that. Oops. So I can't remember if I mentioned, but this little So Hoppy Together stamp set, the little frogs, this is available for free with a $60 purchase until the end of March. Okay, and then what I did was I used some of our old olive linen thread, which is in the Occasions catalog, and I just tied a little bow, and I'm gonna stick that on there. Just gonna use a little dot of Tombow. The green for the ribbon, and the card base, Anna, is old olive. Okay, so there we go. There's the front of our card. Now let's go ahead and get started on the inside. We'll set this aside for just a second. And I'm gonna grab my paper cutter. Okay, so this cardstock measures 5 1/4 inches by 10 inches, okay? And we are going to do some scoring. So I'm gonna open up my arm, and I'm gonna start, let's get these out of the way, I don't wanna get ink on my cardstock. I'm gonna start at 2 inches. I'm gonna score. Then I'm gonna go to 3 inches and score. And then 4 and 5 and 6 7, and one more at 8 inches. So this will give us 2 inches on this side, 2 inches on this side, and then it's scored at every inch. Okay, and then we're gonna fold at every score line. So you want, this piece is going to attach to the inside of your card. So you want it to go like this. So you're doing a valley fold. And it's called a valley fold because there's your valley. Okay, and then we're doing a mountain fold and then a valley fold. And you're just gonna fold it accordion style. So back and forth. And I'm gonna use my bone folder to make it nice and crisp. And then open it up and do this side. Okay, and then that's gonna go on the inside of our card. So I'm gonna bring back my card base. I'm gonna add adhesive to this side first. So just on that 2-inch strip up until that first score line. And then I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch border on the 3 sides. And then I'm gonna add adhesive to the other 2-inch piece, again, just up to that score line, and bring it over. And again, about 1/8 of an inch border on those 3 sides. And there we go. Just like that. Pretty simple, hey? And then of course we have to decorate the inside. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've cut out 3 of these little hearts. So this one here with the stitching, it gives the scallop border on the outside. So I've gone ahead and cut out 3 of those from Granny Apple Green. And those are going to get stuck. Actually, before we stick them down, let's decorate them. Okay, so the first one is going to get stamped with Memento ink, and it's going to get stamped with Happy Birthday. And the Happy Birthday is from the Well Said stamp set, but you can use anything that would fit inside. And you don't have to use hearts on the inside here. You could do circles. You could even do balloons. You could do squares. So there's the Happy Birthday. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a scrap of black cardstock, and I've got the letter U. I'm going to use Versamark ink. Oh, actually, before we do that, I'm going to take my Stampin' Buddy, or my Embossing Buddy, and just rub it across the white or the black cardstock. That removes any static or any oils from your fingers so that the embossing powder doesn't stick where it shouldn't stick. We want it to only stick to our stamped image. So I've got stamped that, the letter U in Versamark. And now I'm gonna bring in my white embossing powder. Sprinkle that on top. So now I've got my U. Let's just dump any excess back in here. And then I would heat set it, but where I am right now, where I film my videos, oh, Shirley, you're working on an M&M page as you watch. That's good. Shirley comes to my Memories and More class that we had yesterday, so she's working on that. That's good to hear. So normally I would use my heat tool and heat set this, but where I do my videos, I've got a lamp plugged in and I've got my printer plugged in, so I don't have an extra power source to make it reach, and I was too lazy to get an extension cord this morning, so by the magic of television, there's one that's already embossed, stamped and embossed and heat set, and then cut out. Okay, and then the other thing that I did was I used another, it's called Little Numbers, I think it was called. It coordinated with our little letters. We haven't carried it in a number of years, but it was one that I use often. So I kept it because it's a good size. But if you don't have something like that, you could always stamp the word to, like T-O, or you can use a different, if you've got a smaller number 2, you can do that and then do a popped up circle or something on there so that you still get that same kind of a look. So I'm just gonna add some Tombow to the back of this. If I had thought about it, the self-adhesive multi-purpose sheets would have been a good option so that I don't have to add glue to this little piece. Okay, and then I'll do the same with the U. Okay, and then we're going to add these on here. Okay, so what you do want to be careful of is you'll see that it only sticks on the one side. So you'll have to remember what side that is and flip it over so that, oh, that glare is terrible. So that you don't add adhesive all the way, because you don't want it, when you close it, you don't want it to stick to the card because then it won't open properly. So I'm going to flip this over and remember that I only put adhesive on this side. And then I usually do the top one and the bottom one and then center the middle one. So, and I lined up the center of the heart there and the point in the heart there. And then flip this over and it'll be here. And then we'll do that on the third little accordion flap. And then this one goes on the middle, in the middle. And it's as simple as that. So I'll pull in the other card for those of you who joined us a little bit late and maybe didn't see the other one that I did. There we go. So that's what it looks like. And then closed. Super cute. I love how it turned out. So here's the other one here. The Hey Valentine with I love you on the inside. So this one would require a little bit more postage for mailing just because it is a little bit thicker. Even if you squeeze it down, you've got all those layers of cardstock. So that's just something to make note of. You will need extra postage for that. All right, so remember that if you want the opportunity to win, you'll actually win both of these. Be sure to comment and share this post. And then if there are products that you want to order, use this hostess code, and with your $50 order placed between today, which is the 18th, and the 24th of January, you'll get a free sampler of the Botanical Butterfly DSP, which is the beautiful paper in the Celebration catalog. So I'll send you a little sampler of that along with your thank you card. All right. So thank you so much for watching. Have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you next Friday. All right, take care.